loves, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. Happy Friday, y'all! And yes, oh my goodness, y'all, okay, I'm so excited. Y'all know the season that we're going into. All these movies popping out left and right, these holidays, sweet, adorable films. Ooh, y'all, I'm just having a good time. Like, seriously, it's so much stuff that I have to record and everything. I didn't even get around to all of that, but I am happy that I'm right here with y'all right now. We're meeting up back again as promised, you know, our Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and it's a little bit of a treat when you hear from me on the weekends. So yeah, and I've been trying to do that as well because yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So anyways, y'all let me know how y'all doing today. What is going on in y'all world, in your movie world? Have you been to the theaters lately? What are you streaming? What are you watching? What is the last thing that you watched and you were like, oh, that so inspired me, that encouraged me, that warmed my heart, and you just can't get it off your mind? You thinking about it, those characters haven't left you. Y'all let me know all of that in the comment section below, because y'all know I'm here for it and I want to hear about it. I need to know what y'all are into. What are y'all really watching? What are you expecting? What are you hoping for? Especially around this season. I mean, yes, presents, gifts, all of that good stuff. But anyways, yes, y'all, as for me, as you can tell, very excited, extremely hopeful. Been watching some amazing things. If you look at the history, if you missed any videos, because I know sometimes you may not get around to it as quickly as you would like, you will see, yes, that I have been to the theaters lately, been streaming some really amazing films. So yeah, I'm like, I would say all over the place, but it's not necessarily really all over the place. Yes, I am on the lookout for holiday films. Yes, I am doing that, okay? Even though we haven't even stepped into the month of November yet, I'm already, okay? I'm there. And then you got other little things that you'll see that are popping up as well that I'm watching. So yeah, y'all stay tuned for that. Forgive me, y'all. But with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled Christmas Time is Here. Now, you can actually find this film streaming right now on Great American Pure Flix. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. A small town real estate agent desperately tries to convince her widowed father not to sell the family resort to a prospective buyer. Now, before I was out here, I was very excited about watching this film because I'm like, okay, we rarely get to see a certain type of people painted in this particular way, if you know what I mean, okay? But of course, we ain't finna get into all of that kind of detail. So I was very excited about that. So I was like, yes, beloved girl, you know you gotta watch this, okay? So here we meet Nia. Forgive me, y'all, Nia. Now, Nia scenes, y'all know I have to get into these characters and give y'all my feel when I just got to do this, okay? Because characters play a major part of the story for me. Like, if I like them, don't like them, feel a certain kind of way about them, that, you know, that does play a part in how I feel throughout the film, okay? But overall, I'm going to say this. I really did enjoy the film. Now, these characters here are something else. Now, Nia, it took me a little bit of a minute to warm up to her. For the fact she is a real estate agent, and I don't know, the way that they paint certain people in certain positions, it sometimes just kind of rubs you the wrong way. They seem kind of like they're not as warm, they're not as inviting, and that is the vibe that I got from Nia right off the back. I didn't get, oh, I just love her, I want the best for her, I hope it works out for her and everything. I wish I could have been like that, but it wasn't the case. To me, she seemed a little bit like self-absorbed, maybe in a sense a bit selfish. I got that a little bit. Like I said, it took me a minute to warm up to her, and I do understand why she was the way that she was, or at least appeared to be that way. I mean, she has a dad that she's looking out for, that's getting up in years. She's protecting him and his property and different things that they got going on. I love the fact that her family owns this beautiful inn and that it's a part of the history in this town. So that is amazing. I love that. But when I do see that right off the back, it always right away I'm like, I hope they don't have to sell this. please keep this in a family. I hate when families have to sell or give up something that's been a part of their legacy, been part of the town so much where it could be a historical landmark. I do not like when it has to come to something like that. It almost breaks your heart. And Nia, this resort that her father does own is a part of her family. It's a part of her history. This is where she grew up in a sense. So that right there warmed me up more to her than anything. I wanted that. I understand her being protective of it and not necessarily wanting to let it go, even though I felt like, okay, you're a real estate agent and I know you got your own business and everything else going, but this end that's part of your family, to me that seemed more important. I mean, you already a part of like the housing market anyway. Why not just step in and take over for your dad and keep it a part of your family? One day you may want to get married, have kids, and maybe they may want to come into the business or something like that. At least give them an opportunity to have something. I just felt like that was a little bit selfish on her part to want to do what she wants to do, be a real estate agent, and even though that's going well for her and she's developing her own thing in that area, but to allow your father to let this go. This is amazing. I mean, who would want to let this property go? And it shows when Julian shows up, who's almost like a shark, y'all. That's how I felt. You are a shark. You are someone that you just seem shysty around the bat. You don't trust him. So I understood Nia, like that was the vibe that she got from him. She just felt like he was the wrong person. If anybody's gonna buy my dad's in, it cannot be someone like him who seems like he just doesn't care about the property. He just, you know, looking for a come up and he's going to move on to the next property. I mean, he works for this big agency and that's what they want to do. Probably tear it down, rip it apart, turn it into something that's a big money maker. And then all of that history that I grew up with, that was a part of my history, my family, my father, my mom, who's no longer here in her case. And so I understood her wanting to protect that from Julian, but Julian was determined, and he is a person that seems like, okay, if you tell me no, it's a challenge, and I can promise you're going to turn that no into yes. He seems like one of those kind of guys, and I don't like that. I really don't like that. I'm a person that you get further with me being humble, being meek, being gentle, all of the things, having all the fruits of the Holy Spirit. You get further with me in that area than being someone like Julian when he shows up and he's just so set on doing what he wants to do, and only been working for like his agency for like a year, and already he's like pretty much at the top, ready to take over. And I know some people are driven in that way, but also it's almost like a red flag to me, and I got that Nia felt this way. And so when Julian does show up in town and she's doing her best to kind of show him other properties, push him in another direction, let him know, okay, my father's in, that's not for you, but I got something even better over here. Let's take a little walk in the park on this end. And then the whole time, pretty much throughout the whole film, that's what Nia is trying to do with Julian, trying to dissuade him to pick something else and protect her father's end. But at the same time, you're trying to do that, but your dad is so determined to sell the property. And so you on one page, he's on another page, and Julian just knows, okay, I get it. I can just go around you. Okay, I can just go straight to the source since he's already ready to do what I want to do. And so there is that little big wedge that kind of comes between Nia and Julian here, and it makes you wonder, are they going to work through this? Because it was a certain level of trust that they were developing throughout this process of, you know, real estate agent here and your client. And on the same line, as they're trying to be more on the business end, they're starting to get a little bit personal. They start to look at each other more like human beings. And Julian started to see, okay, this property is much more than just a property like it is to me. There's a story behind this with this woman, and he's starting to want to get to know that story. And the more that he gets to know it, the more his heart is softening up, and we're starting to see a different side of Julian. So it took me a minute to warm up to him, longer to warm up to him than I did to Nia. But overall, this was a special treat, and then you do get the whole holiday feel here. You got the snow, you got the lights, decorations, and we have a lot of bit of story behind that. And then we get to see these little kids inside these adults here. And I love that because sometimes the holidays and special times of year brings out that little girl or that little boy in you that was a dreamer, that was sweet and precious at one time, that believed in all the things that are possible. And I start to see a little bit of that come alive here in this film with these two characters, which drew me even more into the story and got me all excited all over again. And so overall, Christmas time is here. It was special. It is definitely going to get you prepared for that wonderful season that many of us look forward to. And like I said again, you can find it streaming right now on Great American Pure Flix. But before I leave y'all for the day, we're going to go ahead and get into the scripture, and we are coming out of Proverbs chapter 23 verse 4. And Julian so needed this. Okay, I'm just saying, Julian, I'm just saying, right? So do not overwork to be rich, because of your own understanding cease. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. As always, please remember to leave y'all thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because I do read them and I do get back to you. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.